So to make your Model Magic heart, you'll need 2 packages of Model Magic, a paper with a heart shape on it, and a pencil. First, on the paper, turn it over and you're gonna write your name in the middle where you can see the heart through the paper. We're going to end up cutting the paper out around our heart and it will be on the back of our clay heart. So your name will go here. So make sure you write your name and your class code below your name. Then we can go ahead and open up our Model Magic. I would open up 1 package at a time just so that your Model Magic stays nice and fresh. We don't want it to end up drying out. The first thing we're going to do is fill this heart shape up with as many spiral coils that we can. So to make a coil, you can break off a small piece of the Model Magic, about this size. It doesn't have to be exact. And then you're going to roll it into a ball in your hands or on the table. Then to make a coil, you're going to slowly roll over the ball with the palm area of your hand. Not your fingers, because then you're going to get little bumps on the coil. And we want it to be nice and smooth. So I'm really using this area of my hand when I'm pressing down. And I'm trying to get a pretty thin, long coil. The thicker the coil is, the harder it will be to fill up that space with the amount of Model Magic that you have. So I would say about the width of a pencil. So if you put a pencil down, mine is almost at that size. And I'm going now back and forth kind of along my coil to get it to be an even width. So not working in just one spot, but moving around and kind of checking the size as I go. Now I think I could make it into a spiral. So I'm just gonna take one end and pinch it in and then start rolling the coil around it, turning this into a spiral and pressing it gently together when I do that. Then you can just take this and put it anywhere inside of the heart shape. I'm not going to put it on the line of the heart, but just a little bit on the inside. And I'm pressing it down gently to the paper. It should stick there, but it's not going to stay there if you turn it upside down. We're going to add more Model Magic around it, so it will end up staying in place. Once we have filled this entire space with spirals, we're going to end up adding a coil around the edge of the heart. So we will end up covering this black outline. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that same step again and make another coil, pull off a little piece of your Model Magic, roll it into a ball, and then roll it out gently with the palm of your hand to make a coil. Remember, about the width of a pencil is a good size. And also remember, you don't want to use your fingers to make the coil because you will have some bumpy edges. The palm of your hand is better. Once the size is good, you can roll it into that spiral shape, pressing the Model Magic together so that it stays in place. Then you can put it right next to your first spiral. And there are going to be some little spaces in between, which we will end up filling in with some little pieces of Model Magic. I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of spirals to fill up my heart shape. Now in some of these spaces, I need to make some smaller spirals to fit in there. So my coil can be thinner than a pencil, but it shouldn't be bigger than a pencil. Make sure that you like where you're putting a spiral before you press it down next to the other Model Magic and on the paper. Sometimes it's a little hard to remove it without messing up the spiral next to it. So make sure that you like it before you really press it down. Now I've filled my heart shape with spirals, but the next step we're going to do is fill in these little empty spaces between the spirals and along the edges. So for those, we're just going to use small pieces of our Model Magic and roll it into a ball. You can do this on your table or in your hands. And then you're going to want to press it into those little empty spaces. You can flatten it with your finger and kind of press it into the heart shape. The goal is to fill in all of the heart shape, so we don't want any little empty spaces left. So some of your pieces are going to be smaller because some of these spaces are a lot tinier than others. So here I need to break this up even smaller to fill in this little part here, and I can press it down. It's okay if it goes on top of your spiral a little bit. Just press the Model Magic in together so that it stays together in one piece. Notice how with this side, I'm flattening it a little bit with the edge of my finger to go along that edge of the heart shape. I did that here too. I can also do that a little bit here with this spiral that is sticking out a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and put little pieces of Model Magic in all these empty spaces. Now that I've filled in all of the empty spots with little pieces of Model Magic and I've pressed it together gently, then the next step is creating a coil for the edge. So I ended up for this one making 2 coils. It would be hard to make one that went all the way around the heart. So we're going to take our Model Magic and just make a pretty long coil. So you want about this much Model Magic. So I'm gonna roll that into a ball and create a coil, trying to get it to be about the width of a pencil again. So now I have my long coil that I'm going to put around the edge of my heart shape, and it should cover that black line. So I'm going to start right at the point of the heart and press it into the Model Magic that is already there. Just gently pressing it so that it sticks together. I'm going to bring it all the way along the side of the heart. And then here between the 2 bumps, I'm going to kind of press it down so it follows that shape. Now I ended up not having enough of my coil, so I need to make one about this size to finish it off. And again, gently press this coil into the Model Magic so that it stays in place. If you lift your paper up, you don't want any pieces to be falling off. It should stick together naturally. So then I'm going to take off about the piece that I need. And you can always make it shorter if you end up with an extra amount on your coil. So I'm gonna roll that one out and then attach it there. Now I'm checking to see if this coil's width matches the one that I already have. You don't want it to be super skinny and then have your other one be bigger. So this looks about right. So I'm placing it where I need it. I'm going to try to blend it together so I don't have any empty space there. Now at the end, I'm just gonna break off the part that I don't need, and I'm going to try to blend these pieces together so you can't really tell where the coil starts and stops. So I'm gently just rubbing my thumb here to blend those pieces together. I'm going to do that here and just smoothing out any bumps that there are where the pieces meet. Now, once your coil is along the side, you can gently pick up your paper and hold the heart in place, flip it over to your table and gently press down. I'm not putting a lot of pressure, but just a little bit to press all of those pieces together. You do not want to smash your heart by doing this. We're just gently pressing it into the paper so all the pieces stay together. And then we're going to leave it on our paper like this to dry. You can take a messy mat and put it underneath your paper and then slide this on an empty spot on the drying rack. If you didn't finish making your clay heart, you're going to put your paper inside of a plastic bag and then you're going to seal the bag. That way the clay doesn't dry out for next time and you can attach pieces to it. If you're not done making your heart and you have extra clay, you're going to put it inside of a plastic bag and make sure that you write your name on the bag so that we know that that clay is yours. Don't forget to write your class code with your name. So I could save this and make sure that it's sealed so that it doesn't dry out. I hope you had fun creating a heart using Model Magic and learning how to make coils and spirals. I can't wait to see how yours turns out.